sick.
Still don't know for sure, but what do y'all think?
I gotta build up stamina on that one. That was fucking.
Woo. That's a workout.
Yeah,
it is, dude.
My
My right wrist is just like,
yeah,
all the fuck off, but I feel fine.
I think that sounded really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love where that song is.
Yeah, I think
We just kind of felt it out and jammed it.
which I think it probably needs to be that.
Yeah.
Well, whenever we get a chance to play it live, we can just fucking
Jam.
Right. I think
look at each other.
like I'll do the solo, we'll do it normally, and then at some point, kind of slow it down, quiet it down, and
Yeah.
I'll try to do some repeating licks or something. But then eventually, I think, we should go into the.
What if we went kind of quiet?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like you were just doing, just something like. Yep.
Do you think it would sound better if I just did the snare during that part instead of all the tom work?
Maybe
I
progressively build at each turn.
Yeah.
Like
I think definitely if that's what we're gonna do for like ending it kind of.
yeah. I think it sounds sick. You could do just the snare the first time we do it. Then when it comes back, you can start adding a splash or add something and just. I do think it's clean when you start with just the snare.
Yeah. It sounds like it's building to something.
Yeah,
so it probably needs to either build to some kind of an ending, dramatic ending. I don't know.
Yes, I'll get it.
No,
it's just
I don't know. It's weird for me. I don't. But I just.
anything can be 4/4.
Yeah, the downbeat starts coming on the 4
Yeah.
instead of the 1.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
is.
drum.
That's what gives it that
But it's
kind of
cool.
funny little, like,
yeah.
that's what I mean, kind of that grand funk feel. It's
Yeah.
like a syncopated kind of cool
Just try
groove.
to-
Yeah.
I think it'd just be a cool way to ending after everything.
I agree.
Everything.
1, 2, 3.
I think it's so weird, but
Kind of like just have to dive right in when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm also hearing, I don't, and we could do this, I don't know, but instead of it being like 1, 2, I'm hearing like 1, 2, 3. It's the same thing. Or we can just give it 2 by something. Just leave it at 2.
yeah, that's fine.
Do it one more time until I get it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I need to stop doing the kick drum.
Ah.
So it just needs to be empty in between.
I feel like it'd be really fun for you. For sure.
Once I figure it out, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
How the hell do you do this thing?
You wanna, what do you want to do?
Let's go from the very
Very
top.
top, okay.
Because this is still the 16th note
Yes.
song.
Yeah, I forgot what song it was. But we do revisit that original groove a second time.
That, oh yeah.
Yes, yes.
Either
So-
2 or 3, because you do a solo too, right?
Right, so we start with that, then it goes into, and then after that is that pre-chorus. If this is the chorus, it's the kind of similar to what we've been doing, but it's not the same. And then we go back to the do that again. Basically run through the whole thing another time, and then I'm gonna solo. I think after that, we can change it up because I feel like we're running into similar structure on all the songs with that 2 times, but.
Joe, where's the bathroom again?
Up the stairs, to the left, second door on the left.
But for now, I think we just keep it that way. But I do, at some point, we'll probably need to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because I feel like on most of them, we're running through verse, chorus, or chorus, verse,
Yeah.
twice, and then solo. But they all sound different enough. I feel like it's not a huge deal. But anyways, run through the whole thing twice. I'll solo, and then when the solo dies down is when we'll go into that thing.
Okay.
Only thing there, I don't know how many times to do that. I think it doesn't need to be just twice, obviously. We need to play it like that for a minute.
Yeah.
But it'd just be one of those things, we'll jam on it for a second. I don't know, I may not do a solo, or I could there, I guess, but I don't know. We'll just jam on that for a second.
Yeah.
When we get ready to transition, I'll look at you and then we'll
Okay.
do it. And then maybe 4 times of that, or 8,
Yeah.
whatever sounds best, and we'll end it there.
4 would be good.
Yeah, okay. End it there. So there's this one, we'll get locked in, but then there's this other one will be fun too. Let's see how this one goes. You should film the whole thing on your phone.
Yes.
I
I was watching back the last session that we were here. It's weird, man. It doesn't feel like we're working on these songs for so long, but like, dude, it'll be like 35, 40 minutes of us basically just working on one
song.
It's
Yeah.
cool. You can see all the like actual time that we're taking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing quality shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yet there's other times where we just 2 minutes and we just came up with something sick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailing it down and getting it right is the hard part.
for sure.
Yeah, and all the little intricacies that make it
Make it unique, right? All right, from the very top, right?
Yes.
All right, see if I remember all this. Drop the 4.
Yeah.
Divide by 3.
You ready?
Yeah.
No.
We'll see if it's sticks.
Yeah.
We'll listen back to it. I think it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's a fun song to play.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I was trying not to bend the string too much during the solo because if I did, it was gonna get way out of tune.
It's a good song. Fun one to play.
Alright, so this one, we're gonna have the main part.
Say run that back kind of like 2 times. That's like my favorite part. It's like it's so wide open. You thought the last song was, we're about to fuck your brain up.
I remember hearing that.
Oh, it's so cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, and then back to that part.
Is that like a chorus?
No, it's just like a transition back to this main part. But we're not starting at that part. It starts down here. So I'm thinking I don't hear a beat during that part. It's just you're kind of going along with us, like maybe some cymbals. Or
Yeah.
Just listen to it for a second.
Do you just do that part one time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you guys think we need to do it more.
Maybe it can come back again later.
Well, yeah, I want to do it again. I just
Oh,
don't-
yeah.
I just like.
Just that, it's just that little
That
section
long,
for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like it's the perfect amount because it's totally different, but it's
yeah.
the perfect turnaround back to that main riff.
So basically, like, we'll go into the after the. Then it's the.
Yeah.
Twice. Then it goes in. It's the same rhythm. It's just the notes change.
drums to do the same hits. Da, da, da.
They can.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, definitely on the. I think maybe just me and Brian there. That way you can kind of keep you up basically.
Because we can kind of retard it too and do like a.
Let me start from this part, just so you can hear it again.
It's gonna be so
It's
sick.
gonna be cool.
That's gonna be dope.
Questions?
Yeah, what the fuck are we
Yeah,
doing?
just run it from the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just kind of go
Yeah,
in
we'll
with
fill it out for
very
sure.
lightly.
Very top, or just
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
part
yeah.
from the
Very top.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I forget how we started that one out. Was it just me starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little symbol work.
Okay.
Yep. Let's just start from that second section again. Right there, I need to get some shit down. But the start of that whole section.
I don't know what I hear, whatever y'all think on the, like when it goes into that part, I don't know there.
How to transition like right into
No,
that?
I guess the transition I hear is just me starting it, but it doesn't have to be that way because I feel like we do that in other songs. Or we don't even have to do that.
That is cool. I think it's fine because we'll come out of that chorus, right? That. good. If you can try to sync with this, that.
I think it's gonna be too hard. I mean, if you think, but I think it sounds better with him just cutting out and me and you doing it and queuing him up to come in on the. I mean, but you can try it if you feel like you got the.
I just have to get the count right.
Yeah, because that's the thing. There's no that.
There is no count.
No count.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a. I like the word you use, like retarding it down, basically, as offensive as it might be.
It may be up until Obama. No,
that is actually the proper term.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, do it one more time.
All right, let's
Start from there.
let's start from there. That's that whole section.
I was gonna say, so on the second part, when it goes to the, I want you to have the open E there, because there's a tendency for my open E to stop sometimes, and when it stops, it doesn't sound good.
No, I'll keep it.
And same thing with the open A.
Yeah.
In between that, do whatever you think.
I was thinking, so I know there's a million fucking parts to this. That part he's talking about, where he does this thing. So like, I'll hold that open E, but I think when we do this next note, it'd be cool if you did like so this part, like, when we do it,
Turn it down so you can talk.
so like you're just kind of doing like filling it out. I think that sounds awesome, but this part right here, it'd be cool if you did like a rim shot or something, like pick up the pace a slight little bit and then back to the open note. Whatever you think. Just like a rim shot. Yeah, alright, let's try it I'll show you what I mean.
Just from that part?
Yeah, let's just from that part real quick.
1, 2.
So like here, whenever going da 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 da, but right when it goes back to the main riff, maybe he's just like something, and then it's like.
Listen, I want to hear what it sounds like when you're with us, real quick.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 part.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Transition into
that's I think you should just stop.
Yeah.
Because it kind of.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's start from the E.
From that little.
I liked what y'all were doing, where on the E part, he's just chilling, but then on the A, it's kind of
bring the rim shot in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think kind of mixes it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hearing, maybe. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, from that same little section. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. hear it. So it's like. You'll just have, you might have to watch me maybe when you do it. I don't know. We'll see.
Do it one more time.
Yeah.
Just by yourself.
Yeah. It's not much, but it's not in time. That's okay. So we're basically going back to it's going back to that.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking you don't even need me in that part. If you're just going back to the original. Really?
Well, yeah. So it's we're basically starting from. That's where it comes in right there. That's where it comes in. Starting it from that beginning.
Okay, so you do need drums.
Yes, do need drums.
Let's just go from the very top.
Top?
Try the whole thing through and we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. The only thing I couldn't remember when we just went through it on the first is when we changed to. I don't know if I might have did it right. I don't know.
I think we did. I couldn't tell you how long. I think we were just sort of looking at each other and it's like, hey,
we'll just cue it up. Alright, I'm gonna start.
tell you what. Can we just, for like the next minute and a half or whatever, just run through the verse? Just keep doing the verse. No, sorry, I guess not.
The intro?
We come in with the intro, and then when we all come in together.
Just the main part?
Yes, let's just do that for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, because I want to figure out exactly what I want to do on the bass. So just keep rotating until I'll feel something out, and then we'll be good.
Sounds better on out of phase, you think? sounds less muddy, I feel like.
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it sounds
Let
good.
me just try it with
Yeah,
that.
know that I'm sold on the very beginning. I mean, like, I don't know, like, what the fuck to do. It just doesn't sound right to me. I love how it sounds. I just feel like I'm not doing it. Like the main intro riff, whatever it is. I can't find what I think sounds good on mic. But let's do it. Let's keep rolling.
I love what you're doing, like on the when it gets to like the bridge parts, I guess.
Yeah.
You're going back and forth between the rim shot beat and then
Smooth.
yeah, it's perfect.
I'm gonna try it passive.
There is one other part.
Oh shit!
But what do we have so
This
far?
part is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I've been wanting to add some crazy shit,
Dude,
just because
I
I
love
can't do it with the other band.
Yeah.
There's not the capability.
Plus, we want to have the same 2 or 3 things like 4 times in a song.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep adding
it's,
shit.
It's fun to play when you're on it. So we have the main part, and then that's just like a transition part. And then there's the.
That's my favorite part. I think.
You like that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I love
It
it.
can be its own song. It's so good. It's such a good riff.
I almost was like, it's not. Okay, I'm glad you don't feel that way.
You know what?
Cool.
I'm gonna try something. Maybe this
Hold
will
my beer.
maybe this will fix what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna change anything major, but I'm gonna try to raise this 5-string and see if there's any parts where I can add that I really
I'll take
like.
a lead.
Okay. This part, sounds great, but it's hard to play. If I don't get my hand placement just right,
Yeah.
I miss it.
There's beer in there if you want some.
Okay.
Say less.
Hey,
Hey, girls and days.
we're on a budget.
Yes, sir.
I'll pass right now. Thank you. What?
That
I
position
think so
sounds
too.
good.
Yeah, that's what
It's real clear, but
Yeah.
and it does not sound like our other songs.
that riff and chord is sparkly,
Yes.
and this makes it's just different.
I like it.
That other part though is the one I was showing you in the car.
song.
Where would that part be?
Don't know.
That would have to be a breakdown kind of in the middle.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe that's just the whole ending section, and we can still do more shit, but because we need to find a way. Let's see, we're gonna do the one. Right, we do that, and then we go back to the main riff, right?
Yeah.
So then we gotta like finish that. So what if we do a chorus again? That little. So we'll do that part again. This is all coming out of after the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do that last chorus, and then from there we gotta go to the. That's where we gotta go, right? So we gotta find out how to get from like the chorus or a verse to that.
Yeah, so there's those 2 parts we have so far, which is the. To me, that's the verse.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And then there's the. Obviously, in between. There's that, but then there's the. I don't know what to call that. Another verse?
Bridge, verse.
I don't know.
Yeah, verse 2, yeah.
It's really a bridge. I mean, excuse me, a verse, but it's
Right.
different.
Yeah. I guess I'll call this the chorus. It's just.
I'm calling this the chorus. I'm doing the.
Yeah.
Okay. So verse 1 is.
Verse 2 is just different notes.
Yeah.
But I think that's a verse
Yeah.
again, essentially, when you do.
That's verse 2.
That's like verse
Yeah,
2.
That's verse 2, yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that part.
That.
That's like a little interlude, I guess.
Yeah.
To go back into verse 1.
Back to the.
So you're saying verse 1, chorus, verse 2,
the phony notes and all that. 5 count,
Interlude
1
thing.
down.
verse 1
Verse
again.
1 again. Then should we do either the chorus again,
I think we should.
or should we nix that and go right into the? So we'll have to do that course again.
Yeah, which is fine. It leaves you room to go into something else.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be.
Then coming out of that course, that's where we'll do the.
It's either going to be we go into this again, or do that whole thing, and coming out of the interlude.
Should we, just throwing this out as a suggestion, don't care either way, should we do the interlude thing only once? And instead of doing that the second time, we go to that thing? I mean, we give it a shot.
Yeah.
Or if we didn't even do the walk up, that little part.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing right before that? What do we do right before that? Or should we do the little walk up? I kind of like the walk up. That might be a weird little way to change the time.
Just trying something. I don't know. You got any thoughts? No, I get it.
Weird.
I do. I guess it's just a matter. I mean, I like the interlude thing.
I do too.
I feel like.
Let's do it a second time. Let's do it a second
You
time.
think? Okay.
And I think we'll just have to we'll just come out of that course and naturally find a way to go to the. what I'm thinking is, you know how you go, can you do that type of rhythm on those notes there? And then I don't know, then we can, it just seems like it could be a way where that little motif comes back, but it's like in a different register.
Right.
No idea if we everyone could drop out. You could do whatever time you want, let it linger, do whatever, whammy bar. Then we can come in with the.
Should we do the? Should I go? We'll do the. Because right before it's the. Hear me out. So we. So maybe we're just
let's just try from the top, and when we get there, we'll see if we do something. If not, we'll stop
Okay.
it and talk through it again.
get a take of it. Alright, so we're gonna do that and that. Where are we gonna kind of stop at, I guess, for now? Just run it. What we have 2 times through?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I guess we'll just figure out. Are we gonna try to go to this
That's
part?
what I was wondering, yeah.
Let's see if we can find a way to go to it. If not, we'll just.
Go into it and see.
Or if you wanted to, you know how we do the. You could like, I don't know, let it ring, or you could.
I like the idea of ringing out on something
Yeah,
there
I do
to
too.
transition to that part.
I
I
do
just don't
too.
know the right.
Alright, do that.
What note were you hitting?
Just down, whatever you landed on that last chord. Yeah, just whatever that whole chord was, go down. Or whatever you gotta do to
those little tricky parts I gotta learn.
Yeah. One thing I think we should do when we go to that part, you know, it starts out we're doing that. When we start doing that, you drop out on that part.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
try and add something to
For
it.
sure. I'm gonna try another different thing.
Okay.
Back to the 4, but I'm gonna go drop D on the 4, just so I can have that low note. That fucking bass
would.
player. Fucking bass players, dude, they're so weird.
That sounded pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
That sounded awesome.
Yeah.
That last section was fucking rocking.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I don't, you know, not sold on doing the solo there.
I like the way we ended it.
Yeah, I know, that was cool. That's what I was trying to. Yeah, I just want to hear what it sounds like with you dropping out on that. So the first like 2 times through, it's just you go with us the whole time. Next 2 times, drop out every time we do the.
And then back. Oh.
Yeah, back to the beat. But just those seconds while we're doing that little
Yeah,
riff,
that little run.
don't play drums there.
Okay.
Just
1,
drop.
2, ready.
Play that second note again. I just want to make sure. Shit, it's not a D, is it?
Yeah, if you're in drop D, you'll probably have to.
Sorry.
The first 2 times we do it through, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Okay. So, I'm sure this will still sound alright, but if we really miss having the super low note, let me know and I'll go back to the 5.
Okay.
I'm still trying to feel out which
Yeah.
way to go. Because it does sound good when it gets real low, especially during your solo. It does really fit.
When I'm done, like, instead of playing just this, I'm barring this.
Yeah.
That sounds better. Alright, let's try it. 2 times through, all of
And then
those.
and then
The second 2 times cut out when we.
1, 2, ready.
That's still the Incubus song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Somehow. It takes a journey.
It does. Which I feel like that one and then the other one we worked on today, kind of the 16th note, kind of started to take a journey.
It really developed.
We got a good video of that one too, right?
I've been recording the whole, basically the whole. I've stopped it once or twice on breaks, but everything we've been playing, I've been recording. Okay. Did you have one earlier too?
Just for a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's, I guess from the very top, see if we can, how are we going to go to that thing again?
So
we're just gonna...
we rang out on that, after the second time we did the interlude thing.
Chord again?
That?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm bringing out the bass note is A.
Right. Lift that off and then bar both of those.
Lift this off?
Yeah, and then
Okay,
bar both
okay.
of those.
I don't know. So I basically, I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Just
no,
playing
sure,
the full
sure.
chord.
Yeah. What if you pull that off?
Let me make it mine.
Whatever, I'm just,
Yeah, no. I
either
got you.
one, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
I feel like it is for
What it
now.
was, yeah, I think it's fine.
I feel like it'll probably change the next time.
It's fine.
There's something there.
There's gotta be. Yeah.
That kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, I gotta have that.
The ending though, I want to get that right because it sounds cool.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
When after I get into solo, basically, where do we want to do that?
Yeah.
Cut it there.
Yeah.
So just don't do the last two.
Right.
So when it goes to that final chord.
I think that's cool. Wait, let's at least try it. Also, for your solo, go longer, because him and I were
Okay.
like really
Okay.
grooving and expanding and shit. So just do like a, because who knows, the song like we're talking about, it might seem on screen and everything, and maybe
Yeah.
4.5 minutes. So, like,
It's a minute and a half. But when I'm done soloing and I come back to playing the chords with
Yes,
y'all, that's
yes.
when we'll.
well, in fact, what I did last time,
Yeah.
if you like it, is you just keep soloing whatever. We'll keep jamming, and that's when you were like picking up and doing double pace or
Yeah.
something. And then I went back to that cadence. I went back to that. And then that's when you started to like build back into it out of your solo. So maybe that's the signal
Okay.
when we're switching. Because him and I eventually just start doing like. We're just rocking over here. And then whenever you hear me go back to. That's when you know, finish up your solo and then come in and join us.
So we'll run this that progression once, and
Yeah.
then but on
And
the
then
second time is when we're
That's
gonna.
the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Much
go.
shorter.
So, but I'm gonna go back to that a second time, or we could.
Yeah, no, I like going to, so like, we'll come out of the solo, we'll do the
I'll
whole
join
progression,
y'all. I'll
join
join
it, do
y'all
the
the
whole
progression
progression,
once.
then let's do it, the whole progression again.
But on the back end of
The
that
back
second
end on
one-
that last note
is
is
when
like
we'll-
2 times
Yeah.
less, right?
Right. Exactly.
In so many words.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna film this one again.
just checking with y'all. When do y'all want to and or need to be done? It's 4:15.
Go till 5?
Yeah,
Fine with me.
that's cool with me. Let's run this and then see what else we can squeeze in.
All right.
pretty sick.
That ending section is probably the heaviest thing we've written, and it's
Yeah.
so sick.
But the beginning part of that song is like
Nothing at all.
It's like
Yeah.
it's not, you know.
Dude, it's so cool.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was pretty spot on. I think I want to do delay in my solo there. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you care that the solo was that long? Because
No.
dude, I want to let that
No.
section
Let it go. Yeah.
Let me see. Here's how long that was.
3.5 minutes.
2:33.
I would die.
4.5 probably.
I'm gonna guess like 6.
6:56.
No way.
7. That's fucking. Well, is the beginning us talking for a minute and a half?
No, maybe like 30 seconds.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
that's
Six and a half minutes, dude. Hell yeah.
That's cool.
We need to make a 15-minute song.
Yeah.
At some point.
I think that works.
Yeah.
That transition to that part.
Yeah. Quick little 5.
Yeah, you want to listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll do, I guess, probably one more. Unless y'all want to run through 1 or 2 that we already know, or do you want to just like try to build something for the
So
last 30?
So we've done the 16th note jam. We did the low E or whatever it's called jam.
Mm-hmm.
We did that first. We've done 4 songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one?
Pretty much full. I'd say the only one that's not quite full. Well, the 16th note is. We just kind of
Yeah.
improv on
Is
that.
that the one with the tough part that I had a hard time with?
I think so. What was-
Yes, I think so, right?
yeah, we just can't. Yeah, towards the end.
That-
Yeah,
yeah,
that weird count.
Yeah, that was it.
Grand funk shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
This
if
is
you,
awesome.
whenever those get mounted,
Yeah.
I could hear that being thrown into some shit
Yeah.
we do. Like on real spacey parts and stuff. I got a charger in my car.
Do you?
Yeah. You want me to grab
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Actually, I need to go out and get some zinnies.
Will you grab? I've got a
Fire
silver Yeti somewhere in there.
Here, if you want to plug it in, it's the fast charger too, so. And,
So
when he first sent that
Yeah.
little riff in the chat, I was
Yeah.
like, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
about to be
Yeah.
done.
That was the one part I was questioning. I was
Dude.
not y'all like.
It's the best part of the song.
Yeah, it's so good. Party playing bass.
I love what y'all are doing on that part too.
Mine's clean right there.
Yeah, it's smooth.
You can sit down there and you take your spot.
It's like a subtly heavy song.
It's a pretty smooth transition right there,
Yeah.
too. It really isn't bad.
That's the good.